But we do believe in that we spend an hour together in the theater. And I think it's great having people coming over, they pay the ticket to see light fades out, darkness, and they see something. Where else can you afford that? To be in the total darkness and to see a thing that you're allowed to look at. Sex shop, that's the only place. Peep show, that's the only place. Otherwise, it's always lit, always over-controlled, you know. And this is one of the few spaces where you can afford some intimacy. So this is great. But you see what I'm saying? It's not a big thing. It's very strong. It's very sensual. It's very sexy. It's up to you to tell. But we don't give a damn about this. We're not trying to differentiate what we're doing from the other people. As a matter of fact, we had the wish to bring different skills, knowledges, and expertise together. So bringing together guys coming from industrial design, music, stage performance, light, visual art. So we brought together a bunch of 6 people, basically, and the work of Superamas tries to voice, you know, the differences we have. It is a collective. It's not demagogic for me to say that. The way we process, even though at the end of the day, everyone is responsible. Each of us is responsible of a certain department. If there is something wrong about the casting or about the performance, I might be responsible. If I come up with a critique regarding the light design, I know whom to address, because there's one guy, Henry, responsible for the light design. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, we're not Maoists. It's not like one day I do the light, tomorrow you do directing, and the next day you do the stage technique. You know? It doesn't go like that. But as we are interested in each other's fields, we keep it under the label of superamas. We are not stuck to one single set of conventions. We play with lots of different conventions. We don't care. It can be coming from cinema or TV productions or documentary films or visual art. Because this is where our interests are lying, basically. This is what we are interested in. And, you know, and we try to, then the work consists of bringing those different type of representations in a kind of a meaningful and square production. You know, it's not a matter of only displaying whatever. It shouldn't be only a firework. It should make sense at the end of the day. But I think ultimately it's very much about coming up with a statement about theater. You know, how to use the black box. We are in the theater. What are my limits? What is my freedom in there? What can I do really new? What can I reproduce because it's produced so often already? So play with the past and the future and the present dimension of the theater, basically. So it's very much, I think, an inquiry on theater, on theatrical possibilities. I mean, the theater is just a fake space. What is that? A black box is stupid, isn't it? I mean, it's stupid. It's just an empty space. So people tend to believe information. This is very interesting. Me, at the first place, I don't pass any judgment onto the people, to the audience. We share the same shit. You know, we are pretty much in the same stream of information. And this is what we're trying to tackle. So it's not about the facts, it's about the representation, the communication of those facts. For us, it's only a matter of, are we read properly? Do they read it the way we expected them to read them? You know, and not, so we are not trying to set something mysterious on stage. We do something which is quite simple to read. But then, of course, the equation of those simple facts, those simple elements, might bring you to a place which is a bit more ambiguous and paradoxical. For us, it's a matter of putting forth your own contradictions, your own sense of pleasures, of judgment, your own limits and borders. So when you're looking at a performance of Superamas, I think you're checking yourself. You start cracking up a big smile because it's funny and sexy, but then it starts being, fucking hell, it starts to get a bit irritating, and you feel bad about your own smile that you just had, you know. So it's very much playing with those kind of human, it's very down to earth. It is providing a critique, but in a very entertaining way, in a very pleasureful way. We don't see why we should be dead boring and slow and overstretch the time span we have in the theater to make it deep. This notion of seriousness, meaning slowness, meaning depth, bores us to death. We don't work like that. We like it speedy, we like it funny. It doesn't mean we are going to be stupid at the end of the day. You know? Hopefully not. We were interested in questioning the format, the mode of representing an action, the mode of representing volume, three-dimensional volume, speed, details. How can I afford, as I mentioned before, a close-up on two stage when you are in Buddha or and you've got this big frame and you like the people to concentrate on the portrait. How do you afford that? So this is interesting. This is a physical question and fundamental question in terms of representation. How do you create an image, I don't know, an emotion at the end of the day? So this is what we are kind of like busy with. We love sex. That's stupid to say, but we like to tackle this issue of sexuality definitely, and not only being discursive about it and being theoretical about it. This has been done. You can read Butler and all those people. It's fine. They're great. I mean, respect. I mean, when it comes down to theater, I might find it a bit too implemented, a bit too applied, a bit too too discursive maybe, and too didactic. You please the people with something they can read, they can take. But then, what we do, and this is, I think, why what we do is not only entertaining, we kind of distort it and bring them somewhere else. It's very much, so it's been a matter of bringing together some high-stake and low-stake issues, and high art form and low art forms, because something you can relate to, you know.